Jagex dropped all the details on the woodcutting, fletching, and now also firemaking update coming next week. It includes new content, existing content nerfs, and more, so whenever you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Let's kick it off with the gathering part of this update, being 110 woodcutting, or the extension to the woodcutting skill. Starting from level 100 woodcutting, and this is definitely going to be boostable, you're going to be able to chop these pretty looking trees north of Equals Peak Lodestone. The Eternal Magic trees require level 100 woodcutting and have a set timer, at which point, once it reaches 0, the tree turns into a stump. You're able to examine the time you've left until the tree is felled by right-clicking the tree. The only thing I'm missing here is how many logs you're going to be able to obtain from the tree until it falls down or turns into a stump. It's worth noting that the Resourceful or Refined perk and Katadine Incense Sticks can extend the maximum amount of time you can sit on a single tree. Interestingly, the time or health pool of the Eternal Magic tree regenerates if you interrupt the chopping process. Every so often when you're chopping down these trees, you can see a flurry of leaves appear on one side of the tree, which is a similar mechanic to the Archaeology's Time Sprite or Mining Opportunity. If you act on this so-called Lumberjack Intuition buff by moving to the side of the tree where the leaves are falling, you gain increased XP for logs you obtain, a higher chance to perform a critical strike, aka critical cut, and a higher chance to obtain bird's nests, including a new type used for money making. These new so-called enchanted bird's nests are uniquely dropped from Eternal Magic trees and have 4 20-minute long lasting woodcutting consumable buff items you can obtain as a drop. These items have buffs such as increased XP from logs and increased critical chop chance. Other than the actual consumables, they also have rare seed drops, clue scrolls, metal salvage, and so on. The goal of these bird's nests is to add a little bit more profitability to cutting down Eternal Magic trees. Now, how exactly are you going to be cutting these trees? Well, first of all, you're going to be able to smith new hatchets all the way from Orichalcum to Primal at level 100 smithing. In other words, it's going to be very similar to how pickaxes are now. Now, there's going to be a new tier 90 augmentable hatchet, which you can make using a crystal hatchet and the encampment hatchet, plus an item called the Shard of the Lumberjack, which you need to buy from an NPC called Wilfred somewhere near Falador. The requirements for the hatchet are quite steep, as you'll need level 90 smithing, 90 woodcutting, and the completion of While Guthvic Sleeps, Plague's End, and the Birthright of the Dwarves quest. And then of course you have a brand new tier 100 hatchet called the Hatchet of Bloom, which requires the tier 90 Hatchet of Ember and Glade, level 100 fletching, smithing, woodcutting, and level 90 necromancy. It also requires the following 2 quests. The reason you want to be going for these augmentable hatchets, other than the perks giving you a woodcutting buff already, is that these hatchets, the augmentable ones that is, are 3 tiers better than their smithable counterparts at the exact same level. Now, the update isn't just woodcutting, no, it's 110 fletching as well, and you're able to use these new Eternal Magic logs to craft new tier 85, the tier 90 ranged weapon. Starting from level 100 fletching, you'll be able to craft Eternal Magic short bows and primal arrows, and at level 103, you'll be able to make primal crossbows and primal bolts. Despite the weapons being tier 85 to tier 90, after upgrading them, they do require level 99 range to equip. Upgrading these weapons will work similar to how you upgrade weapons using smithing, where you use the existing weapon and additional resources to upgrade it 1 level, and then use more resources to upgrade that same weapon again and again until the maximum point, in this case being a Mark V Elder Magic Shortbow. This fletching upgrade process is uniquely done at brand new fletching workbenches found around Gielinor. Remember how smithing has burial smithing? Well, these weapons can be sacrificed through martial fletching, where you destroy the Mark V bow or crossbow for big fletching XP gains. I'm curious to see what the XP per hour will be for that method. While creating the new primal arrows and bolts is a lot more standardized and consistent, the primal arrow is going to be more or less useless, as they have no effect. I mean, maybe for Iron Man or something, but Elder God arrows are going to be changed from tier 95 to tier 100, so, you know, these are a no-brainer. Pick Elder God arrows over these any day of the week. The pinnacle of this update is, of course, the Masterwork bow, which you're going to be able to craft, or fletch I should say, at level 110 fletching. The requirements do not end there, however. It also requires level 110 woodcutting for some reason, level 99 smithing, level 90 necromancy crafting, rune crafting, and level 90 magic. Whoa, that's a lot of requirements. The weapon really isn't too interesting. I mean, yes, it's a high tier weapon, but it has no passive, so it's like, you know, okay, I guess. But Jagex again confirms that they're going to revisit the topic of effects for all Masterwork weapons after the release of the Masterwork Staff, which is coming in the 110 runecrafting update. Okay, these weapons could become actual master weapons. Until that point, I'm just going to sleep on them, honestly. Finally, to end off the fletching part, at level 100 fletching, you're going to be able to create a new Eternal Magic Woodbox. This can store 170 of each log, which increases to 270 at level 105 woodcutting. Now, 110 fletching and woodcutting aren't the only skills being changed. Firemaking is also being extended to 110, and you guessed it, you can simply burn the Eternal Magic logs. These scale upwards, bonfire boost wise, fire spirit wise, and so on, and therefore there's going to be a new upgrade in the PVM map you can buy, costing 1000 Eternal Magic logs, and some Marks of War, completely fine. These are simply going to be your best type of log to use for fire making through any method, whether that's the pitch can or just bonfire fire making, it doesn't matter. Smithing's heat mechanic is going to scale beyond level 100 fire making to 110, which is nice. But for some reason, and screw consistency, am I right, protein logs are not going to scale beyond level 99. Now, I don't necessarily care because it's an MTX related item, but this just makes it really confusing for someone that doesn't know every in and out, or if, but, and maybe, of the game. It's really simple to me, protein shakes do scale, so why do protein logs not scale? The actual skills being extended, why not extend the protein logs as well? I just don't like the inconsistency. It's worth noting that this woodcutting update is also going to affect free-to-play, which is unexpected, as free-to-play players will be able to access teak, maple, and acacia trees, providing smoother progression for woodcutting in free-to-play. Interesting. To end of the video, it's worth noting that Crystallize and Lightform are being changed. Crystallize and Lightform are going to be adjusted from providing XP bonuses from 50% or 87.5% when using Lightform in combination with Crystallize to 20 and 40%. In simpler terms, their effects are being reduced by more than half. The reason being is that a level 60 tree shouldn't be some of the highest XP for level 120, even though it's, less AFKable because you need to actively cast the spell. I have mixed feelings here, especially because this also affects other skills, such as fishing. But as long as Eternal Magic trees are really good woodcutting XP per hour, then overall it's not really exactly a nerf to getting to 120 woodcutting, and then it's fine. We'll have to wait and see. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like down below and maybe even consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.